2024 gave us some fantastic K-dramas that kept us glued to our screens, but for every masterpiece, there's a disaster waiting to be unleashed. Not every drama this year was dayback. Some dramas this year had us questioning not just the writers, but also the casting directors, producers, and sometimes even ourselves, the ones that made you rage quit halfway through, regret wasting your Wi-Fi, or just sit there wondering, who even approved this script? At number 5, Beauty and Mr. Romantic. A family drama that should have been titled Beauty and Mr. What the Hell is Going On? Instead of giving us the warm, heartfelt story we were promised, this KBS production served up a buffet of nonsensical plot twists and memory loss. Because nothing screams weekend family drama like absurd emotional manipulation. A washed-up actress finds herself entangled with a rookie producer, and instead of inspiring us, the show gave us trauma-inducing plot twists involving suicide attempts, amnesia, and, for some reason, forced nude photo shoots. What is this, a drama or a punishment? Why it flopped? This show cranked melodrama up to 11 and broke the dial. Every time you thought, surely, it can't get worse, it somehow did. It was as if the writers played a game of, what's the most unrealistic thing we can throw in next? The plot holes were big enough to fit a K-drama marathon through, and even the actors seemed confused about what they were doing. Response in Korea. Korean audiences weren't here for the nonsense. Social media was flooded with memes roasting the drama's absurdity, with one user even commenting, "This show is a great way to prepare for an acting career because no matter what you do, you can't be worse than this." Weekend audiences, who usually have the tolerance of saints, finally snapped. Viewer complaints poured in faster than ever, and ratings reflected that. Global response. International viewers tuned in for the first episode, thinking, it can't be that bad. Spoiler alert, it was. People who did watch it were likely hate watching it just to roast it online. What was good? The chemistry between Lim Soo-hyang and Ji Hyun-woo. Honestly, they deserved a better show. Someone give them a redo in a good script, please. The leads gave it their all, and you could tell they were trying, but even great actors can't save a script that belongs in the dumpster. If nothing else, this drama gave us a masterclass in how not to write a show. Hey you! Subscribe to Miss K Insider. Number 4, Love Next Door. A TVN romantic comedy that's so bad it made Love Alarm Season 2 look like an Emmy-worthy masterpiece. This drama tried to give us a cute neighbors fall in love vibe, but ended up being a bland, cliché-filled disappointment that felt like it was written by someone who Googled how to write romance 5 minutes before the deadline. Why it flopped? This drama was like microwaved leftovers, predictable, bland, and disappointing even though you knew what you were getting. The characters were walking tropes, the plot moved at a snail's pace, and every supposed romantic moment felt like it was ripped from a discount fanfiction website. Seriously, how many times can one couple trip over each other in slow motion before you just want to yell, walk properly, for heaven's sake? Response in Korea. Korean audiences dropped this drama faster than bad Wi-Fi. Even the loyal viewers who stuck around for the leads, hoping they'd improve, ended up rage-quitting by episode 6. TV ratings? Let's just say they're buried somewhere below 0. Global response. International fans weren't any kinder. Viewers on streaming platforms complained about the overused tropes and how the plot felt like it was put together during someone's lunch break. What was good? Love Next Door wasn't groundbreaking, but it had its moments. The chemistry between the leads? Solid. Predictable plot? Yep, but still fun to watch. It was like that guilty pleasure snack you keep going back to, nothing spectacular, but enough to keep you hooked for a few episodes. The drama knew how to throw in those awkward, cringeworthy moments that kept us coming back. In the end, it was a cute little ride, and sometimes that's all you need. The side characters occasionally stole the show. Let's hope the only door involved here is the one leading out of the writer's room. Why haven't you subscribed yet? 3. The Escape of the Seven, Resurrection. The much-anticipated second season that absolutely no one asked for. Sequels, sometimes they're a hit, and other times they're like The Escape of the Seven, Resurrection. 7 people come back from the dead to take revenge. Sounds cool in theory, but in reality, the only people who needed saving were the poor viewers. A sequel nobody asked for, and one that we all regretted getting. Why it flopped. Ridiculous plot twists, melodramatic characters screaming at each other, and a complete disregard for logic made this sequel unbearable. The first season wasn't perfect, but at least it had a shred of coherence. This one just felt like a fever dream. Revenge plots with no logic, forced character transformations, and overacting that would make even first-year acting students cringe. This wasn't a drama, it was chaos wrapped in bad writing. Response in Korea. Viewers were furious. Social media was ablaze with angry posts, with one tweet summing it up perfectly. The only thing that escaped here was my patience. Global response. International fans, especially those who loved the first season, tried to give it a chance, but the nonsense was just too much. By the third episode, the viewership numbers were lower than the collective IQ of the characters. Even dedicated K-drama stans didn't defend this one. What was good? Some performances stood out, particularly Ki-joon, who tried his best to salvage the mess. Unfortunately, even he couldn't save this sinking ship. Ki-joon tried his best. Honestly, we should all send him a sorry for your loss card for being trapped in this disaster. If you still haven't subscribed to Miss K Insider yet, I hope your Wi-Fi disconnects right when you're about to finish a K-drama episode. Hee 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 hee. 2. Jangseong Creature Season 2. Coming in at number 2 is Jangseong Creature Season 2. The first season was a thrilling mix of horror and history, but the second? Let's just say it was more creature than thriller. Season 1 was iconic. Season 2? Not so much. The story fast-forwarded 70 years, but the writers seemed to leave their creativity behind in 2023. What could have been an epic continuation turned into a rushed, poorly-paced mess. Why it flopped? The pacing. It dragged so much that some fans jokingly asked if the Najin were slowing down time. Add to that poorly written characters and nonsensical twists, and you've got yourself a recipe for disaster. Claudia Kim's Lady Maeda had the potential to be an amazing villain, but instead, she was as intimidating as a wet sponge. To top it off, the show abandoned the eerie charm of Season 1 for cheesy melodrama that nobody wanted. Response in Korea. Fans tuned in out of loyalty, but even the most diehard supporters abandoned ship halfway through, with many accusing the creators of rushing the sequel just to cash in on the hype. Ratings plummeted after the first week, and most fans are now pretending this season doesn't exist. Global response. International viewers were similarly unimpressed. I stayed up for this, became the most common sentiment among global audiences. What was good? The action sequences and visuals were top-notch. Netflix clearly blew the budget on CGI because it looked stunning, but even explosions and monsters couldn't distract us from the show's weak storytelling. 1. Queen Wu. Finally, the queen of disasters herself, Queen Wu. Imagine promising viewers a thrilling, edge-of-your-seat 24-hour historical drama, only to deliver a historical documentary made by someone who fell asleep in class. Queen Wu was supposed to be Tving's magnum opus, with its action-packed premise following the life of Queen Wu for a single dramatic day. Filled with historical inaccuracies and cringeworthy dialogue, Queen Wu takes the crown for the worst K-drama of 2024. Why it flopped? Hot Mess doesn't even begin to cover it. Firstly, someone needs to tell the writers that throwing random historical inaccuracies into the plot doesn't make it creative. The storytelling was about as coherent as a drunk history professor's lecture. Sensational scenes were added just for shock value, but not in a good way. It felt like the drama didn't know whether it wanted to be a historical thriller, a romance, or a comedy. Spoiler, it ended up being unintentional comedy. Response in Korea. Critics and audiences roasted this drama harder than sweet potatoes in winter. It was the laughingstock of the year, with memes flooding the internet faster than Queen Wu's poorly written dialogue. Global response. International audiences didn't waste their time. Nobody outside Korea was sitting around waiting for a show that felt like a badly dubbed history reenactment. Even K-drama fans on Twitter, the most forgiving audience, weren't tweeting about it. And if it's not trending on Twitter, did it even exist? What was good? Cinematography. That's it. The visuals were stunning. The story? Not so much. Cinematography was stunning, but that's like putting whipped cream on a rotten pie. Nice to look at, but still inedible. The 5K dramas that made 2024 feel longer than it needed to. Did we roast your favorite? Cry about it in the comments below. Or better yet, drop the ones we missed so we can rip them apart together. And before you run off to rewatch Reply 1988 for the 10th time to cleanse your soul, smash that subscribe button, because trust me, this is the energy you need to survive 2025. Stay salty, stay dramatic, and stay subscribed to Miss K Insider. We'll make sure you never waste your watch list again.